Question 11. Which of the following suggests a synonymous meaning with the words Providence and crescendo respectively? The first word has to be synonymous with Providence and the second word with crescendo. What is a crescendo? In a song, take our national anthem as an example. Most of the anthem is sung at a normal volume with some variations. But there is one part, which is the Jaya Hai, Jaya Hai, Jaya Hai near the end, where the volume suddenly increases to a significantly high point. That is the crescendo, where the volume of a sound reaches its highest point. Here the cat was listening to the sounds of the north wind, which starts as distant screams before increasing or swelling to a crescendo of rage, which is the highest point. In the options, apex means the highest point and upsurge means increasing suddenly. Both can be synonymous with crescendo. So let us keep options A and D. Nadir means lowest point and prudence means being careful or being cautious. Both are not synonymous with crescendo, so we can reject options B and C. Now Providence is mentioned here in the passage, where the cat is looking at the towering and steep rock and is feeling bitter and resentful at the rock, like a man would feel in the face of a forbidding providence. So what is a providence? Now a providence refers to a power or an influence that is not human in origin and is beyond human control, but it can control or affect the lives of people. A providence can be positive, like God, or it can be negative, like evil spirits or the devil. In the options, short-sightedness means doing something without thinking of long-term consequences or long-term effects. For example, escaping a situation by telling a lie is short-sightedness because the person is not thinking of the long-term effects if the lie is discovered. So short-sightedness is not synonymous with providence. The only remaining option is nemesis. Someone's nemesis is a person or a thing that is very difficult for them to defeat. Like every superhero will have one supervillain as a nemesis, who is beyond the superhero's control and who is very difficult or sometimes impossible to defeat. The nemesis is like a providence who is unavoidable and will try to kill the superhero sometime or the other. And the nemesis is very difficult for the superhero to deal with. This way, nemesis is not an exact synonym but synonymous with providence. The correct answer is option A. Question 12. Here we have to identify the figures of speech which have been used in the passage. In another video, I will separately explain the various figures of speech, grammatical devices and literary devices which have appeared in various previous CLAT question papers. For now, you can just pause the video here and read through this list on the screen. You will see that irony, sarcasm, alliteration, pun and onomatopoeia have not been used in the passage. In the passage, the author has used simile and personification. Here the author is saying that the wind was swooping down with the furious white wings of snow like a flock of fierce eagles. The author is saying that the wind and the snow were similar to a flock of eagles, which is a simile. And here he says that the rock was like a cathedral wall. This is also a simile. And here the author says that the wind was screaming, the wind seemed to have rage, the cat was feeling bitter and resentful. So the author is assigning human qualities or actions to non-human entities. So both simile and personification have been used in this passage. Option C is correct. Question 13. The passage best demonstrates which one of the following motifs of cat's life? What is a motif? A motif is a repeated symbol, image or idea in a story, painting or other artwork. A motif stands out and appears multiple times to draw attention to something important. And a motif can either support the main theme of the work or the motif itself acts as the central idea of the work. Here the author says that the cat was hungry and the cat needed to hunt and eat to survive the harsh winter, and how the cat was waiting patiently to hunt the rabbit. While all of these are mentioned in the passage, they are not something that the author is repeatedly highlighting. The main motive of the passage is the never-ending wait. The author says that the cat sat for hours. It was waiting for the prey, but he waited. So he sat down and waited. He waited still. The cat waited. And even at the end of the passage, the cat was waiting. So the never-ending wait is the motive of the passage. Question 14. The author's description. He was under no constraint of human will, for he was living alone, implies which of the following? If we read this complete sentence as given in the passage, it says that the cat was living alone that winter, which implies that he had lived with humans in the past. So, no associations with human beings is incorrect. The author says that the cat was quite free, except for his own desires. So, the cat did not have absolute freedom from everything, because his own desires were still there. And then the author says that the cat's desires, which was hunger at that time, tyrannized the cat when the desires were unsatisfied, as now. Which means that the cat was not tyrannical, the cat was being tyrannized by its own hunger. So option D is wrong. The best answer is the cat's loneliness. The cat was alone, there was no human or any other creature present with him. Even the rabbit was not there. It was hiding somewhere, and the cat had seen it quite some time ago. Now the cat was waiting alone for the rabbit to come out. In this sentence, the author is therefore implying the cat's loneliness. There is also a clue in the question itself: alone, loneliness. Question 15. The lines, "But he never faltered and never once cried. He had nothing to gain from crying and everything to lose," suggest that the cat is which of the following? In this entire passage, the author is describing how the cat is sitting and patiently waiting for the rabbit to come out. So, the cat is definitely not frustrated. The cat is not regretting or described as being apologetic for its actions. The cat has to survive through the harsh winter. Therefore, the cat has to eat, for which it has to hunt the rabbit. So, the cat is not doing something that it regrets. So, apologetic is wrong. The cat is not sitting and thinking and reflecting on something that has happened in the past or something that it has done in the past. The entire passage is about a current situation that is happening and what the cat is doing now. So, reflecting is not correct. The passage talks about how harsh the winter weather was and how the winds were blowing and how the cold, which felt like icy needles, pricked the skin of the cat through its fur. And though he was probably feeling some pain, the cat never faltered in its wait and never once cried. The cat was being resilient in enduring the difficult conditions, realizing that it had nothing to gain by crying. And the cat continued to wait for the rabbit. So the author suggests that the cat was being resilient.